Hi everyone, I'm Fifi McLeod from Fifi the Paper Crafter, and tonight I'm going to do a demo on using distress crayons and how to make your own collage paper out of dollar store tissue paper. I'm just going to take a second and I'm going to load my other phone with our comments. And I'll say hi to everyone and we'll get right into it. Sorry guys. My phone was completely turned off. I had to recharge it. So it's just taking me a second to log in and get it going. There we go. Here we go. And we're celebrating Creative Artists Day. Hi Cheryl, thanks for joining. Hi Cassie, thanks for joining. All right, I'm gonna get right into it, guys. Sorry, it just took me a minute just to load everything in my comments. I'm just gonna move my phone up here so I can see it. There we go. Oh, there. Okay, so basically, what I use is like tissue that you get from your dollar store. So this comes in a 30 pack and they're quite large. And I just buy the pure white ones. So you guys can see the pure white or the blank ones. And I came up with this solution because I live in Canada. And for probably, I would say a good, the first 2 years that Tim Holtz collage paper was on the market, I was not able to purchase it because I lived in Canada and it wasn't available here. So I came up with this method. So I wanted to share this with you guys. It's a simple way to create your own collage paper. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to take out a piece of it, and I like to cut it in half because it's quite large. So when I cut it in half, it looks like this. I hope you guys can see. I can back this up a little bit here. There we go. So what we're going to do is one side is shiny and one side is matte. We're going to put it shiny side down. And the reason for that is because nothing else is going to stick to it. If you have it shiny side up, you'll have to use StazOn. So shiny side down, guys. And we can do anything to this. We can take our stencils. I have all my Tim Holtz stencils in front of me. And we can ink it up all kinds of different ways. You can use your distress oxide sprays. You can use your distress spray stains. You can use your distress oxide in your blending tool. You just have to do like a pouncing motion. And you can also use your distress inks. So you can do this a variety of different ways. But I'm just going to kind of show you basic and what I kind of like to do. So you can make like a whole picture going on. Or you can just, you know, I'm working on some fall stuff, so maybe we'll just stamp. I have this one here in front of me. This is Tapestry, CMS 414, so 414. One of Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous Tapestry. So what we can start by doing is taking some distress inks, because remember, when you're using distress ink and distress oxide, your ink will stay as your base layer, but any oxide that you put on top will, it doesn't matter what layer it is, it'll always pop to the top. So we could start out in some distress ink, and I have, let me see here, let's do some, doing a fall journal right now, so let's pull out some Wild Honey. Here we go. And I have this one here, Distress Ink and Wild Honey. So I want this to go to my background. So I'm just going to pull out my bigger stamp. And anyone who knows me knows this is how I kind of like to use my stamps when we're creating like a background. Hi Elizabeth, hi Juanita, hi Jennifer, hi Lori, thanks for joining. Here we go. I haven't used these too much, so they are beading a little bit, but that's okay. So if they're starting to bead, I'll do like a motion, like a back and forth motion, kind of like this. So I'm getting it kind of inked. There we go. So I get less beading. And same thing, I can either go across the whole thing and completely stamp it, or I can just, you know, do my usual and do sections kind of here and there and create a background like that, like this. So we're going to kind of do this on half so I can kind of show you how to build your layer, right? And we do this in any kind of mixed media that we do. And then I want to come in with some kind of a script stamp. And I have one here that's a favorite. Where did you go? Here it is. As you can see, my plastic's kind of ripped and it's well used. Ledger Script CMS 241. This is an absolute favorite of mine. And yeah, my plastic is all ripped from putting it in and out 100 times. Here we go. That one. Oh, I lost our live feed. Let me just reload that. The joys of using Facebook. There we go. Hopefully I'm still live. I am. Perfect. There we go. So basically I'm going to take my script stamp and then I can come in with a different color. And it doesn't matter too much. I think I've got some kind of a blue on here, but it's been on there long enough that it's not going to matter. So I can come in with maybe something a little darker. Just for some contrast, I will come in with some, I've got Wild Honey. I can come in with some, I'll just come in with some Vintage Photo, because our images are going to be black. Hi Teresa, thanks for joining, love. Here we go. So I'm just going to ink this up in Vintage Photo. So this is a little bit darker. So this is kind of like our next layer. And again, I just want to take my stamp and come in kind of sporadically. I'll move that one out of the way. Here we go. And then I can just sort of turn this a little bit here. Here we go. And I can come in like this and add some script and some script here and there. Doesn't have to be straight. And the great thing about this is you're going to use bits and pieces of it here and there when you're making tags and your ephemera pieces and all kinds of different stuff. And what you're going to want to do when you create one of these is leave it overnight to dry. So if I do this now, this will be ready to go first thing in the morning. So then after doing this sort of a background, you can do this and absolutely, I'll show you guys, use your bits and pieces like that. And then when you decoupage this down with, and I use collage medium when I'm doing this, you're not going to see the white. It's going to actually blend right to your background. So the only thing you're going to see is whatever you've stamped and whatever you've put on top of this as a layer. So my example of this, I have a tag. Sorry, guys. Here we go. That one? No. So I'll show you the difference. This is one I've stamped, and there's one here. Perfect. That's been decoupaged. So if you guys can see the difference, one of them's been inked up and stamped, and this one here, and the only way you can really tell the difference is the texture of it. So this one here I've done where I've inked up my whole background different ways, and you can see I've got script stamping and all kinds of stuff. And then I've decoupaged it down with gel medium. And then this is the stamp that I decided to use on top. So that's essentially what your finished product is going to look like. And I'm going to grab another stamp of something a little larger. Here we go. I have some fall flowers here. Flower Shop CMS 401. So now I want to take these out and I want to use them with my stamping block. There we go. And my Ranger archival ink. So you want to make sure that whatever ink you're using is some kind of an archival ink. So it can be Ranger archival ink, it can be Memento fade resistant dye ink. You just don't want to use Versamark. Versamark is a pigment ink. You want to use something that's archival. Because if you use VersaFine or a pigment ink, you just risk your stamped images from smearing, and you won't be able to color over them later. They'll smear. So it doesn't matter for the background if it bleeds a little bit, but when you want to do a full-on image like this one, and you're looking to ink it later once you've decoupaged it down, because that's kind of, I'm going to kind of show you guys the method behind the madness. So we have that all inked up, and then we can place our stamp anywhere that we want it. So like something like this. And we want to put our pressure down. Make sure we've got a good stamp. There we go. Yeah, I didn't really, it doesn't matter. Let's try a smaller one maybe. I think I need to re-ink this. It's a well-loved ink pad. That might be better. Here we go. Let's try this one so I can just show you guys. Because you want something with lots of detail. There we go. I'll do that one again. Another great way using this method is doing butterflies, because you can actually color the butterflies in, or leaves or something like that. But this is just for demo purposes. I'm just kind of, I'm just showing you guys kind of the method of how I do it. So basically, just to create a background, again, you can script stamp and you can put elements into your background, or you can actually take different colors and you can stencil them different ways. There's a billion and one ways to do this, and that's how I created this one. I inked up my background several different ways, and I took the architecture stamp set and I had stamped it out and then decoupaged it down. So basically, this one here is unusable because it's soaking wet. You're going to want this to sit for at least a few hours or overnight. So I have another sheet beside me that's ready. So I'm just going to put this one over here to the side. So I just wanted to kind of show you how I get there. So I'm going to set that to the side. So this one here, guys, is dry. This one here I did using Tim Holtz, his tree line set. Here we go. Tree line CMS 244. And what I did was I took the biggest one and I did one color. So that would be Forest Moss in Distress ink. And then I took the next darkest color, which is Rustic Wilderness. And I did that one in Oxide, the Oxide pad. And then I did these ones here in Pine Needles. So that gave me depth. So as you can tell, I've got the 3 different colors going. So I just wanted to show you that. You can build and layer your stamps and create your backgrounds. Or, and this is my favorite method, guys, you can do it like this. So here I have a bunch of different leaf stamps, and for these ones I used Tim Holtz, his Falling Leaves CMS 097, and I used Pressed Foliage CMS 376. So these two I have stamped here. And then what I like to do is take my scissors and we're going to cut one of these out just to start with. Here we go. And then we're ready to go. So basically this can sit on my desk, and I have this now that I can ink this up different ways after I decoupage it down. Now with this method, my favorite way of doing this is with my distress crayons. And that's kind of the point of tonight's demo, guys. I am demoing Tim Holtz Distress Crayons and the different ways that I like to use them. And this is one of my favorite methods. And it doesn't matter too much if you get it perfectly cut out. It's just kind of like decoupage, right? You just kind of want a generic way of it being sort of cut out to the, you know, approximate size of the image that you have. And that's not going to matter because, again, when I have it down, you're not going to see any of the white background. And I'm going to put this aside. And if I need more of that, we can use it. I just want to try to keep this area kind of clean. And as you guys can see, I have a lot of Tim Holtz Distress Crayons. The only ones that I don't have are his newest 3 set, because I have this one here of the Speckled Egg, Crackling Campfire, and Rustic Wilderness. I just don't have the new one with Prize Ribbon and Kitsch Flamingo and Salvaged Patina yet. But it's on the Amazon wish list. But I do have the rest of them here. And as well as the mica distress crayons. I don't have those ones either. But anyways, so I do have, you know, the rest of them. So I can do a good demo of them. And you're going to need 2 tags. So here I have 2 tags. And I want to show you something else really cool too while we're at it. Oh, I got a question. Okay, so Cassie, I found for me that when I use distress inks and oxides, as long as I let them dry, and you're not trying to do it wet, they don't bleed and run as bad. They do a little bit, but it's kind of like that little bit that you can live with kind of thing. So you get like this tiny, like as you can see, you get this little bit of bleed, but it's not a heck of a lot where you can't still see what you've stamped or what you've put down. I wonder if I have another good example. Here's another example, guys. Those are with crayons and my collage paper. Here's another one. And I use glossy accents on my butterfly with crayons. Here we go. Just want to give you guys some examples. Sorry guys, my plug to my light's right here, so I'm kind of touching it with my stuff. Let me see here. Anyways, so these are just a couple of examples. So what I do want to share, so this is where, as I've mentioned a bunch of times in my group too, guys, gesso is your base for like it's your base product for like your paints. You can use it as a base for your distress oxides and your inks, but you can also use it for crayons. But my favorite base, and I'm going to show you why, is gel medium. And I use Liquitex Ultra Matte Gel. This is one of my go-to products, guys, not only for decoupaging all of my tissue papers, whether they be my handmade papers, Tim Holtz Tim Holtz collage papers, but also you can decoupage your collage papers and your napkins to fabric with gel medium. So I just wanted to share that. And so what I've done is I've treated this tag here in gel medium like a base, and I'm going to show you guys the difference. So basically, I have here a treated surface and an untreated surface, and I'm going to show you the difference. Let's just take something a little darker so you guys can probably see. What do I have here? Broken china. So here's broken china, guys. So I'm going to scribble down a little section here of broken china, and I'm going to scribble down that same section of broken china. So this is on an untreated surface. Yeah, okay, it moved a little bit, but if you guys can see, I have a bullseye. And I'm just, you know, going to play with that and just let it sit there for a minute because, you know, you don't want it to sit. It's not going to move or smudge. Well, now that I have it treated with a collage medium surface, it's going to move, it's going to blend, and I probably shouldn't have left it as long. Still a bit of a bullseye, but like you can see the difference. Or the best way too is to show like a streak. So here we go. Here's a streak, and here's a streak. So this is on the untreated surface. And here's on the treated surface. And I'm not using water, guys. I'm just blending these with my finger. See the difference? And you can use a bit of water when you're blending them, just to water react them, if you guys can see. And they're still going to move, and you're not going to see that bullseye blended spot. And on my untreated surface, I'm still left with that streak, if you guys can see that. So when you do that layer of collage medium first, you use less product and you're able to move it around easier. So now I want to show you guys, and we're going to come in and we're going to decoupage this down. So I have my decoupage brush is here, and I need a paper towel. Here we go. And I'm going to go right into my collage medium, and then I'll show you the other thing that I wanted to show you in a second. And that is the resist technique, because you can use the you can use the gel medium as a base for your distress crayons, but you cannot use it as a base for your distress inks and oxides, because when it's dry, they won't stick to it. Here we go. I'm just going to kind of give you guys an idea of what this looks like. So good, we have a little bit of color behind it in a couple spots. I just want to make sure I have a good stick. So same thing, just like your regular decoupage, you're going to make sure that you have a good, like, you know, good thin coat, like you would your Mod Podge. And I also use the Ultra Matte Gel Medium as a sealer. But the great thing is that it is a primer for your distress crayons. So you're able to, even though you've used collage medium and maybe sealed something else in, you're able to, or your gel medium, it's all the same thing. Distress collage medium. It comes in fluid medium. It comes in ultra thick, ultra thin. It's all essentially gel medium, and it all works the same way. So as you guys can see now, you can barely see where I've got my tissue paper now because it became part of my background. Just like you're decoupaging it. So that it's super fun. So you can basically utilize all of your stamps. Oh, absolutely it does. Yeah, Elizabeth, it becomes part of your background. This one here was over crayons, and I didn't find it working so well, but when you do it first, before you do crayons, can you see the difference? You can't see where your collage paper is. So that's why I've done it first. And I'm showing you guys the difference here too, because this is over Distress Crayon, where this is blended to the background first of my tag, and then I put the Distress Crayons on top. And you guys will see that. So this is where I want to show you guys with this tag. So what I've done is I've taken my stencil that's right here. One of them. And I have, sorry guys, over here. And this is Tim Holtz Splatters. So I've taken this one and I've put it over, and I've done collage medium over top and let it completely dry. So I want to show you guys this now. So when you take, it's going to look like this. When you take your inks and your oxides, and I'm just going to use our usual, like our vintage photo, and I know I have that handy right here. Just going to put my lid on this. There we go, just so I don't knock anything over. Here they are. Okay, I'm going to take my Distress ink, and I'm going to take my blending tool. Here we go. And there's the one for the vintage photo distress ink. And now I'm going to completely ink this up. And anywhere where I have the gel medium, it is going to completely resist. It'll completely resist my ink. I'll get like a little tint, but not like, it won't stick to it. As you guys can see, I can get like super dark in here, and it's not gonna, see? It's acting as a resist. Yeah, and this is my favorite method of doing the resist. I have Tim Holtz, I'm going to show you guys another product. Whoops, sorry guys, just too close. Let me see here. Resist spray. Here we go. Horrible product. And I love Tim Holtz products. Love them. But the only one that I have not been successful with or love or like is his Tim Holtz Distress Resist Spray. And I just find, guys, that it just, all it does is make a big mess. It sticks to everything. I had to use this as a, I had to use a razor blade to get this off of my Distress glass media mat. And it does, and it's ruined stencils. And you just, it doesn't matter how long it stays on something. It's awful, and you have to, literally, it's a pain to get it off of everything. Like, it's awful. And it's worse than any glue I've ever used. And that's probably now the only thing I would use it for, other than, it clogs. Every time you use this, you have to, put it in hot water, spray out the bottle, and prevent it from clogging. It's just not a fun product to work with. So I don't even use that now, guys. I use this method here with my, any collage medium, your gel medium. It's all the same product, guys, and it all works the same. So this is how I like to do the resist. And as you can see, guys, there's no big mess. I'm not spraying anything and gluing my stencils together, and I don't have to worry about anything like that. So this is kind of my method to that. My little alternative method by putting collage medium first. And I did the same thing with this. When I did it like this, and I had a stencil that I put my gel medium through as a resist. And this is the thing that I want to show you though, guys, because this here's Distress Crayon. So while your Distress inks and oxides are not going to stick to this, your Distress crayons will. So if I come in with ground espresso and I want to make, say, one of these splatters in ground espresso, I can put some of that down and go now right over top of where I had that, blend it in. If I need a little bit of water, I can add just a little bit of water to blend that. But you don't have to. You don't always. I find that I don't really need to, and I use less product. So when I, want to do an area or whatever, a very minimal amount of product goes a very long way when you have that collage medium or that gel medium down first. And just even if you wanted to like highlight, add accents, this is how I like to zhuzh up my my die cuts and do different things with my die cuts with my Distress crayons. Sometimes it's actually easier than trying to bring in your Distress inks and oxides, especially if it's small little areas. And I like to cut mine on white, put the layer of collage medium on them, let them dry, and then I color them. So it's just a great way. Or even if, you've, like I have this tag here, and I wanted to add some so this kind of looks like tea stain, and now I've got something that's going to look like coffee splatters with my tea stain. So and this one here I'm using ground espresso. And yeah, your fingers are going to get dirty, but that's okay. Soap and water takes it off. So there we have it. And I did the same sort of thing here. And again, so anytime that you want to go in, these are water reactive. So again, if I just wanted to come in and do my 7 here, even though I made this probably a month ago, it's all good, and I can still come in and add some more product. Well, I do, Cassie, and I absolutely love Tim Holtz products, but this is the only one that I don't love. And I tell everybody that no. Get some collage medium and you can achieve the same result without the big mess. When I wrecked, two of my favorite stencils from it, I was really unhappy. So if I can save anybody else that dilemma. Oh, and the other thing too, the Distress, the Tim Holtz Tonic Studios glass media mat that I'm working on, it comes with a separate sheet over here on this portion of it here, the white portion. And this is kind of like the palette for putting your product down, because this is my favorite way of using it, guys. I will literally take my ink pads and my oxides, and like this I will make myself like a palette and put all my colors down here, and then I'll come in with a water brush and I use my inks and oxides like I would watercolor painting. So that's actually my favorite way to use these, my inks and oxides, and they've literally replaced my my watercolor paints. So in every way, these are just such a wonderful product. Not only for, using stencils and inking it up, but also for doing watercoloring as well. So that's how I primarily use these. And same thing, guys, this is pretty much dry now, so I can show you. This is my favorite way to use these. I just, sorry guys, we're going with fall. Yeah, I'll grab my crackling campfire. See, I haven't even opened these yet, guys. Here we go. We'll use a crackling campfire. I want to use fired brick. Yeah, no, not fired brick, barn door. There we go. No, that's candied apple. Bright persimmon. Aged mahogany. Okay, that is fired brick. What did I have? Crackling campfire. Candied apple. Where did it go? Festive berries. That's not good. Burn door, there it is. Okay, and I want, yeah, I'll take vintage photo for a brown, and then I want my wild honey. That's my rusty hinge, wild honey. There we go. So I have like fall colors in front of me. I'm working on a fall journal, so that's going to be perfect. And then this is my favorite way to use them, guys. So you can come right in and you can add your inking over top, right on top, or this is my favorite method. You can come in and you can scribble down your colors just like you would on a palette. And I'm just doing this right here on my Tim Holtz glass media mat. There we go. Crackling campfire. Fired brick. Yep. And barn door. There, so you guys can see. So I'm not going off camera. There we go. And then I just, you know, put them back. And then I come right in with my water brush. Wrong one. Over here is my thin one. There we go. And then we can just come in and I add a tiny little bit of water with my water brush in each. And then we can just do our watercolor painting. And I can add it in however I like. And I like depth. So we can do the ones at the top kind of more brown and more like this. We add in some yellow and some brown. Then I mix the two together to create that depth. There we go. For low lights and highlights. Here we go. And then some more yellow in here. And then I'd want to use some yellow highlight through here. And maybe through here. And then I can come in with some of the crackling campfire for a low light in here. And we can gradually get darker as we get lower. Here we go. And as you guys can see, they work just like a watercolor. Because they're pure pigment. So by adding the water, they become water reactive. And when you put them over the collage paper, they work perfectly. And you can still see all the lines of where you've stamped and added that stamping. And you can, and again, see how that's blending in, guys, because I put down the collage paper first. It's pretty much blended to the background of my tag. So as I add layers and I ink this up, you're not going to see that line. It's only when you add it over top, like I did here on this side, that you can see it, where I've added the Distress Crayon underneath where I've decoupaged. Because you can get two different effects of what it looks like. So it just depends on what you're going for. Sometimes you might want to see where it kind of looks like a window. So if you want it to kind of look translucent instead of transparent, then you would put your Distress Crayons under it. So this one here has them under it, and then I did glossy accents over top of my butterfly. So it just depends on what look you're going for. And then if you want the whole thing blended to the background, like these two, you just make sure that you're either putting your inks over top, or you're putting your inks at the on top of your collage paper. So this one here, that's the two different ones. I've inked the collage paper, and I've decoupaged the whole thing down in one piece, and then did some more inking on top. And this one here, I did the distress crayons in the background, and then I've also done distress. So this one over top of distress. So that's how come I have that both of the effects with that butterfly there. And same thing, I stamped the roses and I watercolored them, kind of like what I'm doing right here. Oh, I absolutely love distress products just because there's so many things that you can do, and there's so many different ways to use them. And that's kind of my prerogative, guys. And I started a YouTube channel, and I demo Tim Holtz products, and I show you different ways and how to use them, and how they react with other products, and basically how to get the most out of them, out of your mixed media products. If anyone has any questions, I can see my comments, and I'll answer your questions kind of as we go. Aw, thanks, Lori. Oh, you could take an entire sheet of paper and put your collage medium down first, but I kind of think that's might be a waste of product. Just because there's so much wasted space when you're die cutting. So a lot of the time, what I like to do is use either like a piece of washi tape, and I'll washi tape it down, or stick it to sticky grid or something, or even just, you know, a tiny bit of glue and then pull it out, just something temporary. And that's the best way to stick it down while you're doing this, or even just putting them on the mat and then just, you know, coloring in each one. That's kind of how I do it. So to me, you know, if I'm needing something that's, say, you know, like this big, and I want to, you know, I have no problem just, you know, coming in and adding whatever color I want to, and if it gets on my mat, it's no big deal, because I just, you know, everything comes off the mat really quick. There we go. So this is another favorite way to use these. I like to watercolor with them. And then I want to show you something too. So I'm just going to get this down first. There's my crackling campfire. That is one of my favorite fall colors. There we go. We've got some reds. Sometimes I like to stay in the line. Sometimes you don't really feel like you have to. More red over here, I think. Yeah. There we go. So you can use them like any way that you like. You can apply the color right to your project and smear it, or you can, again, add just a little bit to your glass media mat, come in and watercolor with it, and they go a very long way. So even if I, you know, and here over here I've got some left, so I just, you know, add a whole bunch of water to it, and then I can kind of come over here and create like, you know, like a wash. If I wanted to just add a little pigment to the background. This is a great way to make a quick background. Maybe I'll share that. There we go. Quick background. So if you're not too sure what to do, this is a great way. Make yourself like a little wash. And if anyone has any questions about distress or anything like that, I'm happy to answer your questions. Anything at all, because I use these products every day, guys. So if there's something you want to know, or I'll even talk in terms of paper. You know, I hear Tim Holtz and a lot of people say that you have to use mixed media cardstock. Well, you don't. I use Nina's 110-pound cardstock, and all I do, guys, is just add a little you know, collage medium or gel medium if you're doing crayons. Add a little gesso if you need, you know, if you're gonna do 5 or 6 layers and you want to build your, you know, your paper up and you need a base, right? So you don't tear your paper that you're using. And I use 110 pound, and I find that to just be, you know, find that to be good enough. So I wanted to share that too. So don't feel like you have to go out and buy special paper to do mixed media, because I mean, I've been doing this a very long time, and you don't even need that. And I don't even like, at this point, I don't even like how thin watercolor paper is. I find that tears easy. So my happy medium of, you know, junk journals and mixed media together seems to be my 110 pound cardstock. And even this, I find, you know, like once it's all dry, it's a little flimsy, you know. And sometimes I'll add book pages to the back or another piece of cardstock, and then I'll sew the whole thing together. But no, for doing, you know, a bit of mixed media and stuff, this is perfectly fine. So I just wanted to share that. There. Let's have a little background going. I can even add some more browns in here just to give it a little something. There we go. So again, color outside the lines. Don't feel like you have to do anything in particular. It's your art and your creative time, and it's supposed to be fun. That's how I kind of look at it. There. So, just, yeah, play with it and have fun. And the other thing I was going to show you. Yes. So this is your difference. So I haven't really used, oh, and then guys, when you know, you just do one of these, it cleans out your brush, and you're good to go. I just put the lid back on. There. This is the main difference between, I would believe, gelatos and distress crayons. And this is how it works on colored cardstock. So I have in front of me, and you know, it doesn't really matter, it's kind of bulky. Let's just tear these in half. There we go, just so they're not so crazy. And I can show you the method kind of behind my madness here. Okay, one. There we go. So I have a piece of black cardstock and I have a piece of craft stock. So now you guys have seen what it looks like on white paper. I want to show you a couple of things on here. So this one here is our picked raspberry. So when we add it to our craft stock, your gelatos are not going to react like this. So you get something that looks like chalk, like a chalky background. And then on your craft stock, you get something really vibrant like this. So again, guys, and then on your, say your, you know, your white cardstock, you're going to get like 3 completely different effects. So if you were working with a black tag, you're going to get, like with a black cardstock tag, you're going to get something that looks like you know, like chalk. And then if you're working on craft stock, you're going to get something that's a little darker than on your regular white paper. And gelatos don't do that, guys. Gelatos will just go like, they'll look like you've taken like a Sharpie and just done a streak. They do not react or work like this. So this is something that distress crayons do that gelatos do not do. And for me, I find distress crayons to be more cost effective. They come in packs of, I believe, 5 or 6. I want to say 6. I believe it's 6. I believe they're $4.99 US or $7.99 US, something like that. We get them for about $14 Canadian. And the Faber-Castell gelatos in Canada are $39.99 for a pack. So they're not really cost effective here. So, yeah. And I don't know, and for me, they're just all my favorite colors of distress. So for me, it's like, yep, when they come out with a new color, I have to have the ink, I have to have the oxide, and then when they come out with the bundle of the distress crayons, I have to have those too. Because to me, it's like they just. That's what I love about distress, guys. It all plays nice together. Your distress oxide sprays, your inks, your oxides, and like the pads, and then your distress spray stains, and our crayons, and you can use them all different ways all together, and it's just so much fun. And the only thing I do want to mention is bundled sage. This is the only distress crayon that you have to buy separate, because it doesn't come in one of your 5 or 6 packs. And so far they've got 2 3-packs, and the 2 3-packs are their metallic colors, which are tarnished brass, antiqued bronze, and brushed pewter, and the speckled egg, the 3 that I just opened that I showed you guys, rustic wilderness, speckled egg, crackling campfire, and the newest one that I don't have is prize ribbon, salvaged patina, and the kitsch flamingo. Alright, there we go. So I just wanted to mention that. And then I'll show you guys too, like what some of the other colors look like. So this one's here is Salty Ocean. So same thing, guys, you're going to get that chalky color on here. There we go. And that vibrant color here. And again, this is an untreated surface, and then maybe a purple, just to kind of show you guys. This is Wilted Violet. There we go. Wilted Violet. So you can't really see Wilted Violet too well. Maybe that, I don't know. Let's try another purple, maybe. Seedless Preserves. Maybe it's something in the pigment. I don't know. But you can still see them, just not. I don't know what it is about that. But anyways, Tim Holtz mentions that. Let's try Dusty Concord. There we are. That one's going to show up chalky. There we go. Dusty Concord. It's because they're darker colors, probably made with darker pigments. That's probably why. Let's try a... let's try green. This is Twisted Citron. Let's see what green does. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah. There we go. That one's chalky. Pine Needles. Nope, another one with darker pigment. There we go. But again, they blend better when you put them over, they look better when you put them over top of the gel medium. Your product goes way longer. Yeah, they're still vibrant. You can still see them. It's just hard to see in this light. These were purple. Yep. Does anyone have any questions or anything? Yes, Kitsch Flamingo comes in a crayon too. There's the 3-pack of them. There we go. And I showed that technique there with the resist and my different favorite methods of using that. And again, so I've got this treated with that surface, so I can come in with, say, you know, like here's some crackling campfire, just like that. Make a scribble, and I can move it all around and just kind of add that little something. And if I don't like that, oh, I see my fingerprints, and I can just, you know, come with that tiny little bit of water just to move things around a little better. There we go. Just like that. And it's fun. The other thing I'm going to mention, because we're talking about similar products here, and you guys get to see these first. I just got these today. These are called Stabilo Carbathello. Yeah, Carbathello pencils. And this is funny because I've seen South After using these, and I had to have them. So I like pencil crayons. I think my favorite out of all my pencil crayons have so far been my watercolor pencil crayons. But, and I also use Prismacolor. But these are super special because these are oil-based. So now all of a sudden I have oil-based pencil crayons, guys. And these are going to go over top of anything that is stubborn. So this is like, I can now write over top of Decoupage. They're oil-based, so they'll stick to surfaces like this that have been distressed. So I'm kind of really interested to see how these are going to work. And they're supposed to be permanent, and they're supposed to be water-based. Maybe I'll come in with dark brown over here. And they're supposed to be smearable, kind of like our distress crayons. So I'm really interested to see, because I've never actually used these before, guys, so I have absolutely no idea how they work. Okay, they kind of feel like a charcoal pencil. Oh, that's neat. Okay. So I can add like kind of like mixed media marks across here kind of thing, like that, and I can blend them. And then how about here? Let's let's do the same kind of thing. Add some marks or something. Then I can kind of see. Oh, I like that too. Over top of, see how it blended in? Over top of my, that's interesting. Yeah, over top of my gel medium. So if you guys can see that. I don't know about adding water to them. I have to research these a little bit more, but I'm just like really excited about them. So I just kind of wanted to share that. Yeah, so by adding like little mixed media marks and little things. Yeah, that's cool. And then they blend. I could probably add water, but I'm not sure. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you guys so much. And thank you, Joy and Elizabeth, for the opportunity to come live in your group and share. This was a lot of fun. And yeah, something I will definitely do again. Oh, sorry, guys. I'll give you a better view of that. Yeah, I knocked my camera. Not enough workspace. There we go. So yeah, they're called Stabilo, or Stabilo, or Stabilo pencils, and they're permanent, and they are a chalk pencil, but they are made with oil, like they're oil based, and they're smudgeable. And they go over all kinds of different surfaces, like stubborn surfaces, probably glued surfaces, surfaces that are like, you know, anything that would be like a resist, or so your gel medium, and all kinds of different things. So I'm really excited to get into it. Kind of, Elizabeth, like oil pastels. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, and then they're vibrant in color too, so they have lots of pigment. And that's the other thing about the distress crayons, is they have lots and lots of, like, they're made with pigment. They're infused with it. So you're always going to get, like, throughout the whole thing, you're going to get vibrant color. And, yeah, you only ever use a little bit, and I always, you know, just put down a tiny bit, and then I put it back into the actual crayon when I close it. Thank you so much, everyone. You have a great night, and I'll see you soon. Bye.